Dad. Hi, it's Annie.
Hello.
Did I harmonize?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm just living another day on this floating rock.
So true.
How are you?
This is a good way to get people to listen.
Yes.
I'm here.
You're here. Sometimes that's all we can ask for. The good news is world issues have been solved since our last episode. Everything's good now.
Exactly.
Right?
And I was really like predicting that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so cool that the city we were talking about is now like literally under federal occupation.
It has been.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
But someone else was killed.
Yeah.
I think that I would like to first start by talking about what we posted yesterday. And then, so we're recording this on Tuesday, January 27th. And I want to start, like we did last week, I want to start by talking about this. And then we can move on to like hopefully some different lighter, more fun stuff in case people are feeling like they need that right now. Are you okay with this?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
No, nothing. I don't know nothing. I just promised myself I wouldn't cry on the internet.
Oh, you feel like you're gonna cry?
I just feel sad.
Oh no, me too.
So
I
can't. Like the last thing I can do this week is like also cry on the internet.
No, and I get that.
Like I can't.
So we won't.
Okay.
But I was feeling very helpless/hopeless with everything going on. And something we've talked about so many times on this podcast is that a lot of times it's, for me, helpful to talk about ways you can actually make a difference.
Yeah.
Because I think when there's things happening on this big of like a geopolitical scale,
It's like overwhelming.
yeah, it's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? I don't live in Minneapolis. I'm not a member of this administration, like whatever. And so I put together, and we can link it in the description.
Yeah.
But I put together a list of resources that, or just ways that you can help if you'd like. It's literally could not be less comprehensive, but I thought it was a good starting point.
No, it's a great starting point.
And I have a list of places you can donate on a national level that are like helping with the immigration crisis and everything that's been happening nationally. And then I also have a list of places that are working specifically in Minnesota/Minneapolis right now.
And they're tabbed out at the bottom. Yeah.
They're what?
Tabbed out
they're
at the
tabbed out at the
bottom.
bottom. You're right.
Based on like category.
Yes. And then also, my favorite one is a tab I made called Call Your Reps, which basically there's a couple different measures going on in Congress right now that could impact the future of all of this bullshit that has been going on. One is, and again, I hope this isn't out. Well, honestly, I hope it is outdated by the time that we post this and it's been not passed, but do a quick Google search to check that this is not outdated now. But by January 30th, the Senate has to vote on a resolution that passed in the House that would increase ICE funding without further limiting their powers.
Yeah.
And you should call your senators and tell them to vote no. I believe Chuck Schumer has said that the Democrats do plan to all vote no.
Correct.
But just regardless, call. It takes literally 5 minutes. I linked a script that tells you what to say. You can literally just leave a message, say your name, make sure you say your address so they know you're actually a constituent. And that's all. There's also efforts going on to impeach, I don't know how to say her name and I don't actually care to.
Yeah.
The head of the Department of Homeland Security, who is kind of in part responsible for a lot of this, although she's not the only person. And I think that Trump is going to eventually use her as like the sole scapegoat for all of this. But there are also ongoing efforts to impeach her, which you can call your House representatives and let them know that you support. If you do, I would argue that you should. And if you don't know why, just Google Minneapolis and read some articles.
I also just think that like that was very comprehensive. Thank you. One additional thing I will add, if you feel like you want to like donate in a way that feels a little bit more like high touch or grassroots, I do have the names of some Venmo accounts that are for teachers in or are people who are teachers in the Minneapolis area who are donating to families who are not going into work because they are scared that they are going to get confronted by ICE, and so they cannot pay their bills. And so these accounts are people who have started like GoFundMes and other grassroots organizing around raising money to help these families pay their rent because they are not going to work for fear of being separated from their families and deported without any sort of due process. So that's all really horrible. And I think that as we continue to talk about like the state of the world, like I think a couple of things that I want to say about this is one, like I know that this has been said a lot and on social media, but I don't know if this is just in like liberal echo chambers. So I want to say it again, not that I think we have a large conservative following on this podcast. And I know I'm like preaching to the choir here, but like it is not too late to say like, wait, this isn't what I meant when I voted for this guy. I'm not suggesting that there weren't a lot of other things that probably and systems at place and weird power dynamics that have led us to this moment. I think that's something that politically engaged liberal people have been shouting for the rooftops from like since 2016. I would argue even earlier with Sarah Palin and John McCain, but it's a tangent we don't need to go down right now. I think something that like I always refer to it as like the George Bush syndrome, where it's like, okay, you can still pull your troops out of this war. Like just because you made a decision doesn't mean you need to stick with the decision just because your ego is too fragile to say, okay, wait, there are a lot of things that the far left or most of the Democratic Party and I don't agree with. But when I made this decision either to not vote or to vote for Donald Trump, like this isn't what I meant. And I think we need to be okay as like a country. I don't even mean as a Democratic Party. I just mean as like citizens of the United States who believe that this place was at least founded upon like principles that we all believe in. I think it's important to just say like, it's okay to reconsider and redirect a loyalty to this administration.
Yeah. And I also think one of the most admirable things you could be right now is a Republican or conservative who doesn't agree with this.
Right.
Like,
because those are the people that when this administration starts to lose those people to this issue, that's when they're actually going to likely, hopefully, do anything of substance. Which leads me to my next point, which is that, and I know we've talked about this before in regards to guns and the NRA, but your elected officials quite literally rely on like public sentiment about things to be employed. So like your senators, your House reps. So when people say like, call your senators, it's not like call your senators because like we have this thing in this country that like should do X, Y, and Z. These elected officials are motivated by re-election. And so if by and large, the majority of your constituency is upset by what is going on and will think of said politician negatively if they do not, push back, then they're going to listen. And so I think like it can feel really like jargony and like civic engagement-y and whatever, but like if you were doing work for a client or a group of clients at a consulting firm and all the clients were coming together and saying, we think you're doing a bad job unless you do this thing, you'd be pretty quick to do that thing to like keep the business and to keep your job. And so I think like we get all really tied up in sort of, or I know a lot of people get really tied up in sort of like the political jargon of like the moment and like the script that you have to say. Like, bottom line, if these people think that they're not going to get reelected because they know and you're voicing how discontent you are with what's going on right now, they will act on that.
Yeah, and I think even if they don't, like even if you feel like you have a representative or a senator who you're like, well, there's no way, I just know they're never going to vote. It doesn't matter what I say to them. Like, still do it. Because I also think, to Annie's point, like, I think sometimes the path to change is very slow and very not overnight. And so I just think it's always worth making the call. It takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And these people are pretty power hungry at the end of the day. So
that's
what they're motivated by. And so you should use the power you have to, I was going to say threaten them, but that sounds, I don't want to get arrested.
Push back.
To push back on them.
I also think that something that I also wanted to talk about, which I think is relevant, and I want to give Anna, what's her last name? Redman credit for this thought, because I have not stopped. She made a TikTok over the weekend, and I have not stopped thinking about it. She made a TikTok over the weekend. So she is an influencer. She was on The Bachelor.
Maybe Ari's. I actually don't remember who season.
She lives in Chicago now, correct? Yeah. She was and she made this
Matt James. She's on Matt James.
Yeah. She made this TikTok that I wanted to tie a bow around and frame and like send through the speakers and whatever. She was saying that people were offended or frustrated with her and others that they were posting like ice stuff and then like a cool makeup collab right after. And she went on TikTok, and we should honestly post it because it was brilliant. I reposted it on TikTok, and my repost, you know, when it says like so and so liked your repost, got like so many likes. It was so important. And she hit the nail on the head when she said, the reason why we have so many young men in this country who are MAGA and who have like sort of
been
red pilled as much as they have been is because we have made Donald Trump and his administration seem cool, relevant, and interesting to all the other like interests in their lives. And I'm paraphrasing, but
it like gives them social capital.
It gives them social capital. It gives them a place to turn, a community, like, you know, conflating MAGA with like Barstool Sports and with
like Joe Rogan
and all of that stuff. And I think we've had sprinkles of it in the Democratic Party with Kamala going on Call Her Daddy,
like Charlie XCX brat stuff.
Yeah, the brat stuff. But I fear that the Democrats have let perfect become the enemy of progress because we are oftentimes very worried about the optics around speaking about very important issues in the same room or environment or atmosphere of fashion and brand collabs and reality TV and you know, like the things that make the girlies excited, happy, you know, all that stuff. Her point was that the Republicans are so good at that because there's less rules, right? Like not everything has to be PC and like she like went on the whole thing about all of their like sort of lines that they like to say. I do think, as important as these issues are, having women and liberal men and especially like pop culture lean toward like the social capital and the like cultural cachet that these people have, like Brett and Hannah Chody and Anna and
like Billie Eilish,
Mary Beth Barone, Benito
Skinner.
Yeah, they're like
Teffy.
Yeah, there's so many great influencers, celebrities, etc. that have these beliefs that I think we all feel are important and etc. Sandwiching that content in between other relevant, important, non-political content is actually the way, algorithmically, as well as like from a social, interpersonal, is the way that we have red pilled so many men in this country, is to sandwich like Fortnite with Joe Rogan and, you know, a little bit of white supremacy. And her point was just like, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world that I'm sandwiching really important conversations around due process for immigrants in this country and a video that's probably going to get a lot of attention right before it that will lead to a next click into this story about, you know, Laneige.
Yeah, I actually
I'm
really
curious your thoughts about
no,
that.
I completely agree, and I also think that like someone like Hannah Chody, who you mentioned, is really interesting because she does a lot of, she's very wealthy, and she does a lot of like luxury content that gets a lot of views, and then I think people get really surprised when the next video is like her being like fuck ice, like I like this, you're disgusting if you support this. And then I've also seen liberals take it further where they're like, well, why are you showing off all your wealth when like if you're so liberal? And I'm like, no, like I actually think that's what we need. Like, to your point, I think people are so like, oh, this is exactly what it has to look like and be like to be a perfect liberal, and it doesn't always feel cool. And I think we need to make it feel more cool.
100%. I think that, I mean, yeah, I totally agree. And I think that, I mean, there's a lot of conversations around why Kamala lost the election. And that's, I mean, you could go on for years about that. The camera just died. I was just going to say that I think that you could go on and on about that. And I think that people will say things about like, you know, why, like, oh, well, Charlie XCX isn't like necessarily like cool to like the broader Democratic constituency. I do think as you think about like the younger generation of people in this country, like making it cool is going to be important long term. I don't know that that necessarily means that like it was going to work in 2024. I just forgot what year it was. But like, I think long term it's really important. Yeah. And so I don't know. It was just a really interesting take. I hope I explained it well, but I just thought it was like very, I think sometimes we let sort of the new, like the intricacies of making sure that everything feels like palatable sort of get in the way of reaching out to a broader demographic that would maybe otherwise not necessarily care or be interested or feel that what's going on is relevant enough for like your average influencer to post about it, even if they do feel really passionate about some of these things.
I agree.
So all of that to say, I really hope that next week we don't have like more, I mean, we'll have updates for sure.
No more murders?
Yeah, that would be really great.
I would really love that if we didn't.
Yeah.
But I guess, well, first of all, we're here for all of you. If anyone wants to chat, DM us or just text us. Yeah, speaking of sandwiching, I feel like I do want to, at least for a little, talk about some sillier topics.
100%.
Just because I think it's important. Could I start with one?
Of course.
Okay, so ChatGPT was really mean to me today.
Explain.
I guess this isn't so. It wasn't.
Which, like, you don't use ChatGPT as much as I do.
No, but
I've actually stopped.
So I actually, like, I'm weird. I'm like annoying, and I try not to use it that much. Like, I'm like, no, like, No, the age of AI.
Right.
No.
Of course.
So, but ChatGPT was really mean to me because, so I asked it
Wait, do you have like a rapport with him yet or her?
well, okay, this
Or
is
they?
another thing. This is another thing. My friend Mari and I today discovered that ChatGPT to both of us independently will call us queen. Like it'll be like, "Hi, queen."
Not me.
And Mari was like, "What did I do to make it think that I want it to speak to me this way?"
Wait, mine. I don't know that mine's ever referred to me.
Oh. You sort of keep it at arm's length.
You know what? When I go home tonight, I'm going to say, ChatGPT, call me by my name.
I want to, yes.
And I'll call you by yours.
I want it to tell me what it thinks of me.
Wait, so tell me what you're...
I'm logging on to
No
to tell
offense. Like, you're kind of late to this party. The
I know.
ChatGPT of it all.
I know.
Okay.
But like, honestly, sometimes someone will like tell me a fun thing that they did with ChatGPT,
Okay.
and then I'm like, oh my god, like I went in on that.
So why were you chatting with it today?
Because my friends Mari and Becky used ChatGPT and they sent some photos of themselves, and they said, "Can you tell me what my like color palette is?" Like, you know how people get like their colors read, and it's like you're a summer or you're a whatever. So I said, "Can you please read my colors?"
Right.
And it said, "Oh my god, of course." Blah blah blah. And then I sent it a bunch of pictures. It said, "Please send me a bunch of different pictures of you in different outfits." And I
Okay.
said, "Okay." So I sent him 4 different pictures. Here, I'll show you.
Love.
I wanted like different color
Yeah.
palettes, etc.
Not to be like, you could have like, whatever.
ChatGPT doesn't need me to crop it. That's
Okay.
my thing. I'm like, you're an AI bot. I'm not cropping these for you.
Okay.
You can figure it out.
Okay. Just so you guys know, for the visual, Kate sent like a desktop screenshot of
my
like her
Instagram
Instagram
post.
with like the comments on it. Like, no wonder he was rude.
Okay, so ChatGPT says, "Okay, Kate, I'm confident on this one. Like, ... very confident. You are a deep winter, sometimes called dark winter, etc., etc." It's telling me like what my different colors are, etc., like what colors I look good in.
Yeah.
Then it says, "Your worst colors, parentheses, why some outfits never hit." And it lists colors for me. Beige, camel, warm browns, mustard, olive, peach, etc. And then it says, "That patterned tan dress, question mark, textbook deep winter sabotage. It drains you." Like a picture. I sent it.
Wait, it kind of read you to
me
filth.
in an adorable Reformation gown.
Wait, that you've worn to like many a
weddings.
wedding.
And it literally said,
Wait, did you
look.
say like be brutally honest with me?
No.
Oh, I only get her talking to me like this if I'm like, be a bitch to me.
No.
Wait. Oh my God.
Kind of mean, right?
That pattern tan dress, textbook deep winter sabotage. Period. It drains
Meanwhile,
you.
that was my
period.
favorite picture of all the ones I sent.
Like, I'm kind of freaking out.
I was
Also,
like-
jewelry, silver greater than gold every time. I'm shocked.
And it also said that I should go to a store, and every time I want to buy something, I should think to myself, would Anne Hathaway wear this?
Wait, what?
I swear to God. Like,
I think you should go to like a real color.
no, I think I am a deep winter, though, to be honest with you.
Okay, totally.
Although it was telling me to buy like all jewel tones, and it kind of made me feel like I was gonna look like
I don't know what a jewel
like
tone is.
like a deep green or like a royal blue,
yeah.
and it was making me feel like I was gonna go into like Express. Do you remember Express?
Yeah.
And buy like a button-down blouse in like a bad fabric.
Wait,
and
you had a cobalt.
You know what? And you know what? That was one of the cutest pieces of clothing
Wait,
I've
you
ever
had
owned.
a cobalt
A
button
cobalt
down,
blue
like
button
satin.
down sheer,
Like
and I would,
fake satin.
and I would wear it with a little black cami under it with my leggings and my combat boots
Oh
in 2012. And you want to know what? That fucking ate for the time.
Were we doing a sock with combat boots at that juncture? Like peeking out? No,
no.
I don't think we were.
I
I was
don't
just
think
curious.
so
I was just
either.
trying to envision the whole fit. Wait, that's hilarious. Your ChatGPT is kind of sassy. Do you think it knows that you're like late to the party? Like it feels stood up?
Maybe.
Avoid at all costs.
Yeah, then it was
Oh,
actually
you've never looked good in coral though. It's kind of right.
like it is kind of
It is
right.
kinda
And do you
right.
want to know what
Yeah.
else? It told me that black is like my best color, which you know I love a black outfit.
Isn't that like kind of a cop out?
No, like it told Becky and Mari not to wear black. listen, I said,
And you're always, oh my God, it really did give you my nail color.
yes, I said, what are my nail shades I should wear?
Big apple red, I would have told you.
They said true blue reds, a deep wine / burgundy,
Yeah.
a berry or
Oh my God, that's my
raspberry,
favorite. That first one they gave you is my favorite.
and then almost black shades. And then it says jewel tones. And then it said I should do bubble bath or ballet slippers for a nude.
Okay.
Most nudes are wrong for you.
I mean, you know that. Okay, I'll have to do this later. That was really fun though.
Okay, like I had a lot of fun, but then they were also a bitch
They
to me.
were
And then I asked for
also, were you like, wait, it's on my Instagram, you cunt?
but I was asking it for blush colors, and then it gave me blush colors, and then I asked like, what about this blush I wear? Like, is it good for me? Don't worry, they told me that both of my blushes are good for me.
I thank God. Like seriously, thank God for that.
But anyway, I just was like really not looking to be humbled so deeply.
I'm gonna do mine, and I'll get back to you.
I almost put pictures of you in and said, what are my sister's colors?
Wait,
Because I
can
wanted
you?
to know. Yeah, we'll do it later.
But just don't tell me if it thinks my outfit's ugly.
Okay, well.
I'm like too fragile for that.
And do you
right
want to
now.
know when I walked in and you said, oh, that sweater, like what color is it? The reason I went beige is because I was like, ChatGPT would definitely tell me this is not a
Wait,
good color
I was like, is
for
it
me.
butter yellow? And you were like, I don't know. It's like beige. I was like, okay, fuck. Okay, I have a couple things I want to talk about as well.
Yes.
The first being, who was the man on top of the building?
Oh, I actually know his lore.
Okay, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I bring these things to the pod, like much
Yeah.
like Glenn Close.
Yeah.
That was not something I was interested in, like literally.
To be
at
honest,
all.
me neither.
And first of all, I could get sick thinking about even watching it. I don't know how people who have. First of all, I'm always off balance. Like one thing about me is I'm gonna fall, and I'm gonna be dizzy. And
Oh my God, can you imagine the migraines we would get up
Kate,
there?
I'm like, when I think about, first of all, one vestibular migraine sensation, one predrome,
dead.
and I'm
You're dead.
So, and listen, I have a bad kinesthetic system. I always have. Remember when, wait, can you tell the story about the eardrop Walgreens puke? So
Yeah.
the lore here is, and I feel like we've talked about this before, but like, I was the most car sick kid ever. Like many a trip, Kate would be in the back seat with me while I was throwing up. I've always had like a hard time with motion.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like I'm dizzy standing up.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, your ears are very associated with like your balance and your dizziness and like nausea. Like a lot of times when people get car sick, it's because they have like ear imbalances or something.
No, it is. It's because your
Yeah,
your
okay.
your ear like no, it's not an ear imbalance. That was so wrong. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
but-
sure the way that it works is that there's a fluid in your inner ear that when you're upright, it's balanced and it communicates to your brain like how you are positioned in life and like in
And
relation
so if it gets
to
out of balance, then you feel out of balance.
no, if your eyes are not, or if your car is still and the world is moving, you're like spinning in a circle and that fluid gets all effed up, your brain can't process where you are in relation to like your feet.
Okay. So Annie one time
That was so not
had
correct.
an ear infection. Yeah, I don't think that was right. We're just going to move on. I mean, I think it was close to right, but not all the way there. I certainly don't know though. So we were at the pediatrician, and Annie had an ear infection or something.
Okay, pause. It was an ear infection that Dr. Poland told me would put football players into a little tiny cocoon and make them sob. And I was fighting it like a pro. Go on.
Okay, so it was a bad ear infection. And they were like,
Horrible.
They were like, we're going to give you a prescription, go pick it up at Walgreens, but first we're going to put some eardrops in your ear to like start to help it or whatever.
They may make you a little bit nauseous.
Sorry.
Was what they told me. And by the way, doctors be throwing that around. It may make you feel a little bit nauseous. Okay, so well, continue.
So they put the eardrops in. Annie's not doing so hot. And then, of course, we put her in a car, which is already a bad situation, and drive her to Walgreens. And when we were in Walgreens.
They gave me like the first dose in the doctor's.
And when we were in Walgreens, what, did you throw up on the floor?
I was trying to convince myself that I was like going to be stronger than like the nausea because like I was like, they didn't tell me I'd puke.
Right.
They told me I'd be like a little sick. All of a sudden I just look at my mom and Kate's in the aisle over and I just go, oh, I'm gonna, and I just puked all over the floor of the Deerfield Walk.
I feel like you like ran out
Because I did.
Did mom just stay and say like,
She was like, can we get like some? And
Clean
they were
up
like,
on
oh. Yeah. So anyway, how did we get here?
the guy climbed the building?
That's like how people throw up in the air when they skydive.
Ew.
Like on themselves.
So similar.
Let me tell you, like, I seriously, yeah, it's so similar. Let me tell you something, like, why am I crying? Let me tell you that, like,
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
there are a lot of things that I'm like, yeah, I'd try it, like, before I die. Like, being, what?
I just pictured you skydiving and throwing up on yourself.
But, like, being, like, above the ground in any capacity.
What do you mean?
Like, I never want to be off the ground. Like, ever again.
What about in like a plane?
No.
You don't like
Like,
planes?
I'll fly, but, like, I don't want to be there. The
Yeah.
idea of someone getting in an airplane and saying, push me, I want to jump. Do you have that?
No. Oh, I don't want that.
Okay,
No.
okay. But you like a level of adrenaline.
No. Do I?
Was I just a huge baby when I was
Like,
little?
I think I liked an appropriate amount of adrenaline for a child. I think I have since outgrown it.
Yeah.
Like I would never be like, let's go to like I'll go to like Nordstrom and buy a $500 wallet, and I'm like, whoa!
But you won't like go on like Tower of Terror.
The last time I went on Tower of Terror, I had a really, really abysmal time. It made me feel like my organs were coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, and then you feel sick the rest of the day.
Also, I get car sick now. Wait, should we talk about? Wait,
Yeah.
do we want to talk about the guy who climbed the building?
Like, no.
All I'll say, I'm just gonna tell you the lore.
I brought it up, but like,
Do you
no.
know the movie Free Solo?
Is that him?
That's him. Have you seen it?
No, but didn't he lose an arm? Did he not?
That's 127 hours starring James Franco. No.
What's that
Free
one about?
Solo. Which one? Free Solo.
No, I don't care.
Free Solo. It's a true story. It's a documentary. Okay. I mean, 127 hours is based on a true story where a guy cut his own arm off to save his life.
That's the one.
That is. This man did not climb this building with one arm.
Okay, I kind of thought he did. You can tell I didn't watch a single second. So even the still photos on Instagram, I had to like get on the like get in crisscross applesauce and like ground myself.
So basically, he just climbs like the craziest. The movie's about him free soloing El Capitan. I don't know why I said that like I was French.
El Capitol.
He's
offensive. I don't know why or to who.
He climbs it with no ropes, no anything. Like imagine you just took your cute little Aritzia wearing self and went over to one of the tallest peaks in the world and just I don't know.
I don't really understand. Is he like scaling the outside of the building?
Well, so I was talking about the movie where he climbs a mountain, but then yes, this past weekend he scaled the mountain with nothing, no ropes.
What's the mountain?
Wait, mountain? No, I said mountain, not mountain.
No, but
wait, what? The mountain?
I thought there was a building.
Yes, in Taipei.
Oh, in Taipei.
And typically he climbs mountains.
Oh, but he
This
chose.
weekend he climbed a building in Taipei.
And why? Because he's a freak?
Yes,
By the way,
yes, watch
if
the movie.
I was his wife.
Oh yeah.
Does he have loved
Yes.
ones?
He has a wife who they're not dating or they're dating in the movie. They're not married. And you're like, why the fuck is this bitch with him? He hates her. Her name's like Sonny or something.
Wait. Did he do it live?
Yes.
So if he had fallen,
I think there's a delay, but yeah.
You better get those 7 seconds quick. Right? Isn't it a 7-second
Yeah.
delay? What like streaming service?
Netflix.
I'm not watching it. What am I asking?
But my main takeaway was like so many people were only posting about that cough cough the Kardashians. They must have been paid to post about it because every single one of them
yeah, I
posted
saw
it.
that.
And not a single thing about the fucking
It's not true. Courtney.
Courtney posted. Maybe Kendall.
I don't know.
But
yeah,
anyway.
but that was like the only other thing besides like tyranny that came across my desk this weekend.
And anyone who was posting about it, no offense if you did, but like, I was like, I don't actually literally give a flying motherfucking fuck about this man in Taipei.
Wait, is he doing well? He survived.
He survived.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he puke?
No.
Well, I guess he
got
wasn't
up
free
to the
falling.
top and he looked down and he went, sick. Not kidding.
So,
Yeah.
did he have a Make America Great Again hat on?
No. I don't know his I don't want to speak to Alex Honnold's political affiliations.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying that. What were we? Oh, that you've become Miss Pukey.
I'm literally Miss Pukey now. We've talked a lot about gross stuff on this episode.
I know. Should we
politically, bodily.
Yeah.
No, just like I projectile vomited in the Cabo airport this weekend, and it had nothing to do with alcohol and everything to do with me being a weak little bitch.
Yeah.
And it was really
Mary
embarrassing.
was texting me being like, feel like I'm gonna puke. Oh no, I'm at the airport. I'm like, Kate, you are not the first or the last hungover girly puking in the Cabo airport. And you responded and you were like, I didn't have a sip of alcohol yesterday. I was like, so why are you projectile vomiting? Wait, we haven't talked about this. Did you use the, in the airport in Mexico, they have like the pedal.
Uh-huh.
Did you use that?
Yeah.
Did you
after I
puke on
puked.
it?
No, but I projectile vomited all over the wall.
It's fucking disgusting.
In the family bathroom. It was horrible. Anyway, then I had 12 hours of travel ahead of me.
Yeah,
so.
that wasn't fun. My final moment of the week is just that it's okay to be sad.
Oh, you sad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And for really, like, I think we should do much like our dating episode that we keep not doing, I think we should do like a...
Wait, we're doing the dating episode for Valentine's Day. Sorry.
Okay, fine. Amazing. Great. We also need to do like a...
Mental health?
No. Career in your early 20s
Okay.
episode. I think that like... I just like have had a lot of really interesting conversations recently with like people my age and younger about sort of like the trials and tribulations of being a young working professional, as well as like the transition from school into that. Anyway, not the point of what I was going to say. I just think that we should do that maybe for like Earth Day. It's like coming up.
For Women's History Month in March.
Exactly. I just think that I was feeling, so I know that the whole country, obviously, but specifically New York was hit with a really crazy snowstorm. Mm-hmm. I was home by myself this past weekend. And I had a moment on Friday night of being like, oh my God, I am like so sad about what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. I'm home alone in my tiny little apartment, like hoping that my power doesn't go out, because what the fuck am I mean, I would have come here and I feel very grateful for that, but I was like, what the fuck am I going to do if that happens? And everyone, like all the grocery aisles were like emptied in New York. Like it was giving COVID. It was giving weird. It was giving like, let's all like sit on our phones for a couple days and like let this storm pass while we watch the federal government occupy cities in our country and weaponize the military against its citizens. Anyway, I just had this moment of being like, so yesterday I was like really sad, and I was like, I don't know why. Like, I think we've talked a lot about mental health on this podcast, and like, I would say I like lean much further towards anxiety, OCD, sometimes panic, rather than depression. Mm-hmm. So when I do start to feel like depressed, it like not only makes me more anxious, but I'm also just like, this isn't like a typical feeling that I have. And I just wanted to say that like, I had this moment yesterday of being like, why do I feel this way? And it's like, even if the day in and of itself was like fine, like Logan got back, Rachel's going to be home from Mexico soon, the winter storm has passed, like the grocery stores are like back to normal, whatever. Like, I think that the like macro stuff that's going on right now impacts me, I'll speak for myself, more than I think I give credit to. And I think that like the day-to-day stuff can feel like, well, why am I like in a bad mood, or why am I so upset and whatever. And it's like, well, because there's like a lot of really scary stuff going on right now. So I just wanted to say that like social media, per my comment at the beginning about not crying on the internet, like I think people do a really good job at, like everyone always says, highlighting the really good stuff. But I also think too, highlighting like what's going on in the country and like trying to speak about the things that feel like they matter. And I think a lot of the times the things that feel like they matter are either like job promotions and like personal celebrations, or like personal milestones, like getting engaged, getting married, all that stuff, and or really good and mainly really scary things going on in the world. And I think there's a ton of space in the middle of people who are just like trying to get through the day, trying to get through the work day, trying to have fun on the weekends, etc. And I think sometimes that like middle stuff can feel really overwhelming in your 20s. And I would imagine maybe in your 30s as well. I don't know yet though. Yeah. Hopefully a little less so. And so I just wanted to say that like it's okay to be a little bit like sad or anxious as sort of a baseline right now, given everything going on.
Yeah. I'm sorry you've been feeling that way.
That's okay.
I very much relate. And I think this is about to be such a niche, like it's going to feel like I'm changing the subject, but I'm not.
No.
But you just reminded me of the influencer Tana Mojo, who's, you know, she has her interesting traits, but she has not had any alcohol for a year. And she made a video about it that I was watching when I was in Cabo. And she was talking about how like something she kind of like reframed for herself in her first year of sobriety was like, if I get through the day and I literally just don't have a drink, it does not matter what else I did that day, like that's a successful day.
Yeah.
Obviously we're not talking about addiction right now, but I thought that was like such an interesting way to think about life, because I think sometimes when things feel really overwhelming and bad, it can be like, I feel like you and I share this trait where it's easy for me to get really in my head and be like, everything's horrible and
like
I feel horrible and what do I do and blah blah. And so like, I don't know, I just think taking that sort of mentality but making it your own and being like, you know, if I get outside for a 5-minute walk today, like that is a success. I can mark that as a successful day in my head, no matter what else happens. Or if I tried my best to be nice to myself today, like that's a successful day. It doesn't matter if I looked perfect or did everything else on my to-do list I said I was going to do, or if I was able, like, I just think sometimes like I'm bad at being nice to myself too. And I thought that was such an interesting way to think about like giving yourself grace for just like doing small things that can be really hard. And just like, I don't know. I love for some reason you saying that like reminded me of that. And it
makes a ton of sense. And I think too, like trying to balance the importance and urgency of the bigger moment with like your personal health, sanity, and all of that, I think is something that I'm continuing to like have to figure out. I also think all of this is coming at a time when like January feels like it's been 5 years.
Oh my God, the longest month ever.
And I just think it's very much like sort of the Wednesday or the Monday or whatever your least favorite day of the week is of the year.
Yeah.
And I think that it can feel really overwhelming. So I just wanted to say, like, if anyone else is feeling that way, that's, I think, normal given the circumstances of what's going on. And I also think that, I don't know, to your point, I think that sometimes we get really bogged down in sort of, or I get very bogged down in like the like catastrophizing of it all and like extrapolating like one bad moment or one, personally, I don't mean from like a societal perspective, into everything. And I think that it's important to, I don't know, I've made like some, which we can get into in our career episode, like large shifts recently in terms of my like outlook on working and like corporate, like America and all of that. And I think that like so much of what we do, or so much of what I was doing, had a lot to do with like wanting to be successful and like having a, you know, strong LinkedIn profile. And I was miserable. And so you end up, I don't know, I just think like being relatively like happy and feeling like you're doing something that's like aligned with who you are is like the most important thing, because like the moments of telling people what it is you do or you know, what it is that makes you happy, or the things that whatever is like fleeting, and like your day to day is the thing that's going to continue to bring you happiness. And so I think that's just been something that I've been thinking a lot about recently. And my Saturn might return soon, I've heard.
Oh yeah, doesn't that happen at 27 or something?
Yeah.
You're 26.
Yeah.
Slay.
I don't really know what it means, but I'm excited for it.
I know
Casey Musgraves sings about it.
Ariana Grande does too, actually.
Sings about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an interlude on her album called Saturn Returns.
Okay, love.
And she's like very into it. So if she's into it, I trust it.
I know you, and you kind of trust everything she does.
Yeah, most.
Okay, well, sorry about the somber vibes on today's episode.
I think a lot of people, I think that's just kind of the world right now.
I totally agree. I love you all so dearly. I think it's important to be kind and let people know when you love and appreciate them, especially in this weirdly tumultuous time and very cold January. And another pod has passed, and I have yet to cry on the internet. So feeling.
Congrats, Anne.
Thank you so much. Sorry that this is audio only. The camera died halfway through filming.
Yeah, but thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.